Let's just now rope in Dr. Honorable Babu Owino, who is the Embakasi East Member of Parliament. Good morning. You sit in the Budget and Appropriations Committee. And this morning, we're actually talking on, or rather focusing on the debt monster. Maybe give us your 2 cents on this issue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chacha. First of all, good morning to my comrades, my colleagues, Honorable Peter Masara, who is an Azimio diehard, and my great friend, Honorable Ikana. Number one, I would like to state that historically and in economics, there is no problem of having a debt. There was a great Italian economist, Italian-American economist called Franco Modigliani, who came up with what we call the theories of consumption, the full life cycle hypothesis in the 1950s. And it stated clearly that you can save, an individual can save money during their early years to pay their later years. Therefore, there is no problem in borrowing because you can borrow to pay later. But the problem that we experience in Kenya is the type of borrowing where we borrow to steal, we borrow to defraud, we borrow to pilfer, we borrow to misappropriate. The greatest problems we have in Kenya are only two. Borrowing is not a problem, but we borrow for corruption. Number two, patrimonialism, where there is entitlement. An incompetent president appointing incompetent cabinet secretaries who have entitlement that they must be rewarded. So borrowing for those two purposes has killed our economy. So that is concerning our borrowing. The problem in Kenya again is that the type of a president that we have is becoming an autocratic president where even laws are not going to be followed. So I think that Kenya as a nation, we are headed in totally a wrong direction, Mr. Chacha.
Dr. Babu, we have a challenge of the weakening Kenya shilling. Already the debt has ballooned by 700 billion in the last 1 year when President William Ruto is actually serving. And he has come out, stating categorically that it is now giving him sleepless nights. Rather than lamenting, what should we expect from the head of state?
I think the head of state, we should never expect blood from guavas because the head of state as a member of parliament in Sugoi did nothing, as a cabinet secretary for higher education did nothing, as a cabinet secretary for agriculture did nothing, and therefore Kenyans should expect nothing from President Ruto. We should never expect blood from guavas. And now, all this borrowing that took place during Uhuru's tenure, the deputy president then, the president now, the deputy president then, was part of the decision making. We find that our public debt is around 10.5 trillion as at the moment, out of which 4.8 trillion is internal domestic debt and 5.7 trillion is the external debt. And within a period of 1 year, the president has already borrowed close to around 1 trillion Kenya shillings. Where has this money gone? And why is he crying for? We have accusations of corruption where his name was allegedly called in so many scandals, and now things are catching up with it.
And Dr. Babu, on the domestic debt, there is a maturity of 375 billion Kenya shillings that the government is now seeking actually to redeem a rollover. But the banks are adamant that they want their money now. What situation are we likely? Are we likely to see even Kenyans lose their money in banks that are in form of savings?
We are killing investment in our nation. We are killing the economy of our nation because we are borrowing and we don't want to pay. Borrowing arrogantly with an intention that you will not pay. So why should you borrow and cripple the financial institutions which are helping us in the growth of our economy? So I'm in support of the financial institutions not to allow, not to issue money, further money to the government of Kenya because they will not pay.
Finally, Dr. Babu, are we likely to see the country defaulting some of the loans that we are obligated to service?
Already we are not paying loans. Already as things are, the president said sometime last year that by the start of this year, he's already well equipped with some money to pay the loan. This year he said that he's not ready to pay the loans. So as I said earlier, never expect blood from guava.
Thank you so much, Dr. Babu Owino, who is the Embakasi East Member of Parliament.